All right, my game, I had to choose a profession and an animal, and I chose a tiger and a prostitute. And I rightfully renamed the game the Tiger and the Escort. So essentially, what I'm supposed to do is you are the escort, and there's a bunch of tigers around, and you have to get from point A to point B without touching the tigers. And if you touch the tigers, you lose. So what I have here is I made my own images, and then I realized that the tiger images would mess up my code. I couldn't get any of the display or the moves or to add extra tigers. Every time I would do it, it would spawn in a corner. I also have an issue with my lose state actually. My lose state, every time we would set the lose state up in a class, it would jump as soon as the game would start and you press Z to start, you lose. And we don't understand how that happened. So my lose state doesn't really happen. And my collision was probably the hardest thing to try to do, and I still couldn't figure it out just because it was in the class and I didn't know if we had to set everything up because of by points or if it might have been easier using ellipses, but I had to take the pictures out, so I just left it as a square to test it out. So my game is basically it's drag and click, and it's long screen. Press U start. One, two, three. It was a little loud there, but that's how you win the game. But obviously, I don't have my collisions yet. That was probably the hardest thing, and I'm still having trouble trying to do it. And I gave up. I had a key press, and key press itself actually was messing up, and it wouldn't register all the time. And I tried to do the omnidirectional key press, but that didn't work for me either. So I ended up trying mouse X, mouse Y. That ended up working better because, as you saw, like I can move and everything, and then that's how the game would be set up. And my levels, I know I went through it pretty fast because the music was pretty loud, but each of those squares were supposed to simulate tigers, so you're supposed to avoid those. And then you are the person in the center in the escort. I also wanted to start the game, each level to reset in the middle, but also again, I didn't have the parameters and stuff like that set up. But that was basically the goal of the game. I needed to get everything together. Um, yeah, like the hardest things were just the resets and all of that. I actually have a press auto reset on one of them. I didn't have them on all of them, but I have to put it on my you win section. So you just press auto restart, and it'll send you back all the way to the title screen, so you can start all over. And I had to add a lot of classes because these are all the tigers. These were supposed to simulate all the tigers, all the images, but since the images didn't really want to work, I had to settle for rectangles and squares. It probably would have been easier with ellipses because you could find the radius and find the distance in between. But since I was already so committed into using the rectangles when it worked, I just used that and went along with it. And I got my music. It's non-copyrighted music, so I can't get sued. And all this is all the parameters, all the tigers. So this is um this is the speed. These two are the speed. These are the sizes. So each of the tigers are different sizes. So they're like regular sizes in the first level. The second level will have like a lot of fast ones, and then a few that are going around. And the last level has some big squares. So you have to try to go around those. And those I made those big squares on purpose because you can't make the game easier as you progress. But yeah, here's my non-copyrighted music. These are my images. I still have my images for my tiger, just because I made that image, and uh, that's pretty much it. I tried as all everything commented out is all the things I've tried, like the key press, like the key press here, like I said. Those were each in different game states, and this is where I tried to get it to another game state, but it would just crash. And this is my class for my tiger and its move, and then I tried. This is where I had the collision, and this is where I tried the lose factor, and it did not work. And We tried to reset, but reset wasn't really like cooperating. But yeah, that's pretty much my game.